Stop holding the flag while you run. It makes you slow as f. Here are some better ways to do it. Alright, so we know holding the flag while we run makes us the slowest. So one of the easiest ways to run faster is to make sure you're sprinting before you grab the flag. So we're going to sprint, grab, look up, switch our weapon. That's going to cause us to throw it. Sprint, grab, throw. Sprint, grab, throw. Sprint, grab, throw. So we're not holding the flag for long. We're sprinting without the flag. It makes us faster. Next way to do it is if you're being shot at, you're going to sprint, grab, jump, throw. Sprint, grab, jump, throw. It throws it further. You're a better target, though, for them, but you are throwing the flag further, especially if you have to throw it over an obstacle. You want to be sprinting, grab, jump, throw. Get it out of your hands as fast as you possibly can. Now, it's a little slower than grabbing and jumping and throwing, but it does make you a harder target to hit. We're going to sprint, hit our crouch, which is going to initiate a slide. During the slide, we're going to grab it and throw the flag. So I'm going to run, sprint, grab, throw. Again, it's not as far, but it does make you a harder target, especially on a map like this where there are some obstacles. Now, if we put both of those techniques together, it gets a little complicated. Sprint, crouch, grab, jump, throw. This is going to hurl that thing away and make you a very hard target because you're doing this. Sprint, slide, grab, jump, throw.
They'll be coming for you.
You want to grab it before you jump so that that sprint slide carries you into the momentum. You grab the flag. You still have that little bit of a speed boost. You jump, you throw that flag. This next one is very complicated, but it does utilize some of the boxes around us. What we want to do is find a box that's about chest high or lower. As we're running off of the box, we want to be sprinting. The last moment we hit our crouch button, as we're sliding through, we grab the flag, we jump, and we throw. We sprint, slide, jump, throw. And it gives us a lot further of a throw, especially if we're getting into some trouble. Let's see if we can make that a little fancier. Just like that. And then as you saw me doing right there, something to keep in mind is when you're allowing yourself to crouch, you can't do this if you're jumping, you can't do this if you're just sprinting, grabbing, and throwing, is you're able to weave if you know you're in trouble. So I can slide to the right, I can slide to the left, maybe get behind something, can slide out. So being able to being able to sprint, slide at an angle, grab, jump, throw, is really, really important to keep you alive. Okay, so as you're practicing that, the most complicated sprint, slide, grab, jump, throw, it takes a lot of time, especially if you're practicing weaving. As you're trying to build that technique, the thruster can kind of help fill that gap of trying to move the flag faster. So we can grab the flag, we can just jump and thrust and throw. Grab, jump, thrust, throw. Grab, jump, thrust, throw. That's going to move that flag way faster than not having that equipment. But once you learn the technique of sprint, slide, grab, jump, throw, now it's going to be sprint, slide, grab, jump, thrust, throw. Now the problem with thrusting is when you thrust for about a second, you cannot switch your weapon. So it only kind of helps. But if you're weaving, if you're trying to move out of the way, you're getting shot, whatever's going on, this can be a great way to throw off some snipers. So if I grab it and I'm moving, If I grab it and I'm moving, maybe I go this way, but I thrust that way. Right? That helps me stay alive so that I can cap the flag. So think of the thruster as if you're not very good at the sprint, slide, grab, jump, throw, the thruster will get you there faster. But once you're good at the sprint, slide, grab, jump, throw, and you're starting to add in the thrust, it's the perfect time for you to be changing directions. So you can, again, grab, jump to one side, but thrust to the other. Then your opponent's doing this, and that's what we want. We want to keep them guessing. So now, using weapons. The rushdown hammer and the blue sword are like a thruster that never runs out until you use all of the charges, right? But whether it's a thruster, whether it's a blue sword or a rushdown hammer, you get this speed boost, right? So we can use that speed boost to help carry this flag further, right? So we can sprint, slide, grab, jump, throw. The problem is if we're holding sprint the whole time, we have a tendency to overshoot our mark, or if we look up too high. So if I'm holding sprint the whole time, I have a tendency to lose control of this flag. There are times if you're getting shot at, bombed at, ravaged, or whatever, and it bumps you a little bit, the weightlessness of this weapon is carried into that, and it can really throw you off, especially if you're going to do some more fancier things where, let's say you're going to throw it and maybe you're going to come in from an angle. Sometimes, again, you can get ahead of the flag and you can miss it. But imagine it's unlimited thruster. Now, if you pair that with the thruster, you sprint, slide, grab, jump. As you're over, you thrust over. That can be helpful. Now, if you're on a map like Outlook where there's out-of-bounds zones that if you fall off, you die, what I recommend is maybe you throw it once and then switch to a slower weapon so that it's less likely that you're going to go off the edge, right? So just be careful when you're using the blue sword or the hammer. They can keep you alive, but they can also cause you to jump off the edge. Now, there's a few ways to use the grapple when we're moving this flag as fast as we can. We're not talking about grappling the flag. What I'm talking about is how do I get the most speed? What you can do is you can grapple through the flag, and as you're approaching the flag, you can grab it and throw it. And it will throw it a lot further. Now, what I did there was I initiated sprint. As I hit the grapple, I let go of the grapple, hit my slide, I grabbed the flag and threw it. That'll help keep you alive, especially if you're in a more competitive mode than just Super Husky, so that you can slide through. Now, that's really only necessary in Super Husky if the flag is out and you're just trying to get to it and you just can't quite grapple it. I mean, ideally what we do is we grab the flag, and as I'm running with the flag, if I hold sprint, you can see that my reticle disappears. It's just a yellow dot. That yellow dot is telling me that whatever's in range, I'm able to hit it with the grapple. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to initiate my sprint. I'm going to look up, come through, I'm going to slide, throw it, grab, and go. So again, I grab, look up, come flying down, I jump right as I'm losing my momentum, and that helps me throw the flag. And that's the simple way of doing it. Now, a more advanced way of doing it is as I'm approaching to grab this flag, I'm going to be sprinting. I'm going to grab the flag and jump. My sprint is still registered in the game. I'm going to turn around, then I can grapple, slide, and go. So it'll look like this, and I'll do it without the hammer first. So I'm sprinting. I'm going to grab, jump, grapple, slide. That way I can change directions without my opponents being able to get me. So again, sometimes I'll even grapple, slide in, grab the flag as I'm jumping. By the time I hit that peak of my jump, my grapple has replenished itself. I can turn around, grapple the ground again. From there, I can't slide again because I had slid in, but I can get some speed. Now watch what happens if I do it holding the hammer. So I have this extra speed. I get way more distance, and I almost overshot, so I had to switch to my other weapon quickly so I didn't overshoot, because if I had had the hammer, I'd have been way too far. But because I had more speed going into the flag jumping, the game registered me as moving really fast. Now I almost peaked too high, so I almost hit the balcony as I came down. But because I had way more time before I initiated that slide, because that grapple was accelerating me, I was able to carry it further. And again, if you're doing this on a map like Outlook, you need to switch weapons to something slower, because you will jump off the edge, and chances are your grapple won't replenish fast enough, and you may die. Or it was your last grapple and you killed yourself.